Good afternoon, boxing fans, and happy Sunday. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. And in celebration of the release of the light heavyweight set for Glory Days Boxing, we're going to have a 10-rounder today featuring Slapsy Maxie Rosenbloom against James Scott from Rahway State Prison. And two reasons it's an interesting fight. Obviously, James Scott, one of the few fighters who actually fought in a televised contest while being incarcerated. And Scott was a fighter on the way up when he was, after he'd been released from prison in 1974, won 10 bouts in a row. And going back to New Jersey a little over a year later, was convicted of an armed robbery, also had a murder charge against him, which resulted in a hung jury. But it resulted in him being reincarcerated at Rahway State Prison, where he fought 4 times actually on national television. ABC refused to carry his fights because of the incarceration, but CBS and NBC did. Scott rose up the ranks fairly quickly, and in 1979 seemed poised for a potential title shot when the WBC dropped him from their rankings. And the reason they gave was his incarcerated status. And I'm sorry, it was actually the WBA that dropped him. The WBC kept him. And that created a little bit of controversy. Scott at the time announced his retirement from boxing and unretired early in 1980, where he fought, or lost actually, 2 of his last 3 fights, however, defeating Dave Lee Royster, but losing to Jerry Martin, and in his final fight, a 10-round decision loss to Dwight Braxton, at which point he stepped away from the ring for good. Scott ended up being released after serving 28 years in 2005, suffered from pugilistic dementia in his later life, and passed away in 2018. So that's a little bit of a summary of the career of James Scott. And Maxie Rosenbloom added him to this fight mainly to showcase his trait, which up until now has appeared only once in Glory Days Boxing, and that was in the free tomato can set. But Rosenbloom has a trait of feather-fisted, -2 from opponent's chin KD if there is a knockdown chance. And I wanted to do that and specifically picked Scott to show you how that would interact. So Scott only has a 2 as his chin KD rating. The lowest you can go in terms of a chin KD rating is 1. So in this case, it would not go to 0, but it would be reduced to the minimum of 1. If Scott had a 4, it would be reduced to 2, etc. And the feather-fisted trait, Rosenbloom had over 270 professional fights and only 19 knockouts. And that was part of his nickname, Slapsy. It was a twofold nickname. One, he was kind of an eccentric, goofy fellow outside of the ring. And 2, because he was an extremely light puncher, really didn't sit down on his punches. He was a defensive first fighter, excellent boxer, good technician. So it creates an interesting matchup, I think, between these two. So we'll see how it plays out. This is scheduled for 10 rounds. And joining us at ringside as we are ready for the opening bell, we have Philip Reynolds, SDG Replays, and Al Red Sox fan. Welcome, guys. We are set to go. And once again, from Rahway State Prison, Rosenbloom and Scott, the opening bell, and we are underway. Scott, and I got the wrong dice, damn it. We'll give that a 3. Rosenbloom in the red corner, Scott in the blue, and here we go. Rosenbloom, and matchup-wise, Rosenbloom, a 9-star fighter, Scott an 8. And again, Rosenbloom, extremely good defensively, a good counterpuncher as well. Scott is a little bit more of a slugger. He'll work to get on the inside. So here we go. 2 stars for Rosenbloom and 2 stars from Scott. They're going to start this toe-to-toe from the outside. Rosenbloom first, and he's going to land a combination by the jab. 3 big punches get through. And power, again, Rosenbloom is a 1, Scott is a 3. So Scott will get his opportunity, and no knockdown or cut checks in this. 18, and Scott, looping cross, closes the sequence. 4 big punches land. So an uncharacteristic toe-to-toe exchange for Rosenbloom. He likes to fight defensively. He's going to have 2 stars from the outside, and Scott 2 stars from the outside. Scott landed more punches last segment. He goes first on the toe-to-toe exchange, and that's going to be a 3-punch salvo getting in for Scott. And we have a possible knockdown for Scott. Rosenbloom fires back from the outside, 39, and that's going to be a 3-punch combination for him. So both fighters throwing heavy leather, and again, very much out of character for Rosenbloom. And chin check for Maxie, 4 or less, he's in trouble. 5, he absorbs those punches, no problem. Rosenbloom has a very good chin, very tough to stop. So he doesn't get stopped, and he does not stop people. And it's going to be another toe-to-toe from inside this time. Once again, Scott goes first, and Scott's going to tie him up. 2 minutes to go in round number 1. Rosenbloom looks to work from the outside. It's going to be 2 stars apiece, and Scott toe-to-toe from the outside. He's going to initiate it, and dice is stuck. 36 from the outside. James Scott, 3-punch combination, and Maxie going to fire back. No knockdown chance for either fighter. And Rosenbloom, 94 from the outside. That is going to be a clinch, so it's going to take 2 of those punches away. Maxie now settling in more with his usual style, which is hit and grab. From the inside, Rosenbloom has 2 stars. Scott, Rosenbloom's going to take control. Our first non-toe-to-toe exchange of the fight. Masterful boxing from levels of 5-punch combination by Rosenbloom and a possible cut. 19, and Scott cuts on 4 or less. He is okay. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go in the opening stanza. Here we go. Rosenbloom circles from the outside, remains in control, lets the hands go. 73, that's going to be a miss. Scott looking to counter. 5, gets home a jab and a cross on the counter. And excellent work by Scott, ducking under that jab, firing back against Maxie. Still from the outside is Rosenbloom, and it's going to be toe-to-toe. Scott in control is going to go first. 58, he's going to miss, and Rosenbloom now fires back. 85 from the outside, and Maxie misses as well. 40 seconds to go in the round. And Rosenbloom, do not expect any knockdowns again because of his feather-fisted trait, as he looks to stay on the outside and use his boxing ability. Lands 3 punches there, and James Scott is going to take all those. So Rosenbloom coming back at the end of the round and asserting himself from distance. 2 stars from the inside is Maxie. He's in control. Ducks inside, 30. And that's going to be another 3-punch combination. And Scott, 5, is going to add 1 to it. So that's going to be the round, and a very good action round to start this one off. 18 punches to 10 is the tally. And again, both fighters had a stamina of 90 to start this fight. Both very good with their stamina. So 8-punch differential using generic judges. Our referee today is Joe Cortez. He is strict, a +1 to foul checkage or checks, and also quick to stop the fight. So +1 to will checks as well. And 8-punch differential. We will see who the judges give this to. So good action round, and again, not very characteristic of the way Rosenbloom liked to fight back in the day. But it was definitely crowd pleasing, and fighters up off their stool as we're ready for round number 2. And we are ready to go. Fighters come out, meet at ring center, and Rosenbloom has no stars from the inside. Scott's going to take control from the outside, and that would have been, it's going to be a possible knockdown for Scott if he can land, but he misses. Rosenbloom looks to counter, and 4 gets home a cross and a hook. So Maxie avoids a haymaker and counters back, snaps Scott's head back. 2 stars from the outside for Maxie and 2 from the outside for Scott. Going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. Rosenbloom goes first from the outside. 2 punches land, and Scott, he's going to have a knockdown opportunity. Actually, Rosenbloom does too. So we will let Scott fire away, and 26, Scott lands 3 punches of his own. Now double knockdown opportunities. Rosenbloom goes first, and again, the feather-fisted trait. Scott's chin will only be a 1. He can still be hurt on a 5 or less. 14, he takes that. Chin check for Rosenbloom, 4 or less. And Maxie, he's going to go down. Scott with a big right hand drops Rosenbloom to the canvas. And a KO of 1. The referee begins to count. Cortez And Rosenbloom should get up from this, and he does at the count of 6. So big turn of events here in the second round as James Scott catches Maxie Rosenbloom off guard with a big right hand and drops him. Rosenbloom, unopposed action for Scott now as Maxie looks to regain his senses, and Scott's going to go from the outside, and 48 from the outside just misses that opportunity. So 2 minutes to go in the round. This will definitely be a 10-8 round for Scott, though. And a very unexpected result there. Rosenbloom looks to get his senses about him. It's going to be another toe-to-toe exchange from the outside, and Scott's going to go first in this one. 66, he'll miss. Rosenbloom fires back, and Rosenbloom, 5 big punches land as he works in and out. Jabs and crosses landing, snapping Scott's head back. Rosenbloom seems to have regained his wits, and he's going to stay in control from the inside now. Looking to get in tight, and he's going to miss. Scott looking to counter, does not do it. Minute 20 seconds to go in the second round. In a shocking knockdown, Rosenbloom seemed to be off balance when that punch connected, but still took a 6 count. And it's going to be another toe-to-toe from the outside. Rosenbloom goes first, 97. And that's going to be a 1-punch landing and a potential foul, which we'll come back to check on. And 50 for James Scott. He is going to miss. Rosenbloom has a foul rating of 5. And a no foul there. A minute to go in the round. Rosenbloom, despite the knockdown, has been in control, but Scott, the heavier punches, 2 stars from the outside, and it's going to be another toe-to-toe exchange. And again, Rosenbloom goes first. 40 from the outside. That's going to be a 3-punch combination, and it's going to be a possible cut. Both fighters with possible cuts. James Scott fires back, and Scott, 25 from the outside. That is a 3-punch salvo, and we will do a double cut check now. Rosenbloom 4 or less, both fighters 4 or less actually, and Scott is going to have some facial damage. Let's see what it is. 9, and that's going to be swelling around the right eye. So very exciting second round here as we are in the final 40 seconds. This has been a very surprisingly action-packed fight thus far. Outside, 2 stars for Rosenbloom, another toe-to-toe exchange, and Rosenbloom going first, and he's going to have a possible knockdown, 0-8. That's going to be a 4-punch combination, and James Scott looking to fire back, 22, and he's going to get through 4 punches of his own. A looping cross closes the sequence, and a chin check for James Scott. And again, that feather-fisted trait, 17, he shakes that off, no problem. So final 20 seconds of the round number 2, and it's going to be 1 star for Rosenbloom, 1 star for Scott. Toe-to-toe they go again, and Rosenbloom again goes first. 0-4, and that is going to be a 4-punch combination. And James Scott, he will have no possible knockdown. Actually, Rosenbloom has been down. Oh, never mind. No possible knockdown for either fighter. Scott firing back, 95, and that is going to be a foul. 1 punch lands for James Scott, and foul check. Scott is a 6, and again, +1 for Cortez, but no foul, and that is the round. So Rosenbloom, he landed 21 punches that round, but it's going to be a 10-8 round for Scott since he scored the knockdown, and Scott got home with 11 of his own. Both fighters going at a frenetic pace early in this one. And again, a very crowd-pleasing fight to start off. Stamina, it's going to be 69 for Maxie heading into round number 3. Scott is down to 51 as he's coming out guns blazing in this one. So here we go. Round number 3 is underway, and Rosenbloom from the outside is going to have 2 stars. It's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. And Rosenbloom's going to go first from the outside, 58. He is going to miss. Scott fires back. And James Scott, 4 big punches get through. Looping cross again closes the action. Scott looking to work inside now, bobbing and weaving. Rosenbloom from the inside, 2 stars. Scott from the outside, 2 stars. Toe-to-toe from the outside. Scott goes first. He is going to miss. Rosenbloom fires back. Going to use that jab, and again, that masterful boxing. 5 big punches get through for Rosenbloom. None of them with much sting, but he's piling up the points here in round number 3. Another toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. Rosenbloom goes first. He misses. Scott fires back, and Scott from the inside, 33, charges in behind the lead cross. 3 punches get through. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd round. Good action fight in this one, as Rosenbloom has thrown caution to the wind. It cost him in the 2nd round when he bit the canvas. It's going to be another toe-to-toe exchange, and James Scott goes first from the outside. Scott, 0-9. That's going to be a 4-punch combination for James, and just missed a potential knockdown as Rosenbloom fires back. 79, and he's going to miss all those punches. So James Scott, surprisingly in control early in this one. Rosenbloom, a much better boxer, but Scott has frustrated him thus far. Toe-to-toe from the inside, James Scott's going to go first, and 15. Again, that big right hand creating all kinds of damage with Rosenbloom. And it's going to be a possible cut as well. Rosenbloom fires back, and he misses, so cut check for Maxie. And Rosenbloom has a cut rating of 4, and he's going to have some facial damage as well. Scott with a swollen right eye already, and Rosenbloom, he's going to get swelling around the left eye. So 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in round number 3. And Rosenbloom works from space now, looking to maintain control. It's going to be another toe-to-toe, though, and James Scott's going to go first from the inside, and he's going to fall into a clinch. 1 minute to go in the round. Referee Joe Cortez steps in, breaks him up. Rosenbloom, 2 stars, and James Scott, 2 stars. Another toe-to-toe from the inside. And again, Scott reaches out and grabs. Perhaps he's starting to be fatigued a little bit in this one, as he's had a high punch output early in the fight. From the outside, it's going to be 2 stars for Rosenbloom, and he takes control from the outside. 33, combo lands behind the jab. 3 punches get through for Rosenbloom, and he's going to be, Scott, no defensive adjustment, takes all of them. Final 20 seconds of the round. And it's going to be 2 stars apiece, toe-to-toe from the outside. Maxie goes first, and 99. We are going to the event chart, folks, in the final 20 seconds of the round. Let's see what that has in store for us. 45. And each fighter warned for holding and hitting. 1 punch lands, and 1 warning for each fighter. So Joe Cortez, again, strict. So he gives both fighters a warning for holding and hitting. They both get an additional punch, and that is the round. 16 punches to 9 for Scott. And that was his best output of the fight. He's been in double figures all 3 rounds, and Rosenbloom had landed 39 punches through the first 2 rounds. So again, a very good action fight. It's turning out to be a dandy here. 7-punch differential for James Scott. And Scott, especially with that knockdown, according to most ringsiders, is building up a pretty good lead early in this one. And that surprised a lot of folks who expected Rosenbloom to control Scott with his superior boxing abilities. I agree, Al. This has actually exceeded expectations. I thought Maxie would make it a little bit more of a boring fight, but these guys are going at it. And round number 4, we're ready to go. Rosenbloom, he's working inside more than usual. It's going to be 2 stars. He's in control. Lets the hands go. 37 from the inside. Maxie, combo again behind a jab, and James Scott with a 5 on his defensive check is going to add 1 to that. And that's been the one factor that hasn't come into play. Rosenbloom's defense has really not been a game changer yet in this fight. 2 stars from the outside, toe-to-toe from the outside. Again, a lot of toe-to-toe exchanges. Rosenbloom goes first, 90. And Maxie's going to miss. It's going to be a potential knockdown for James Scott if he can connect here. And 93, and Scott misses as well as he falls into a clinch. So Cortez comes in, separates the fighters, and Scott entered the round with 42 stamina left. He should be okay, but he seems to be pacing himself. 2 stars from the outside for Rosenbloom. He's in control again, letting that jab go to work, and that's going to be 2 punches getting through, and James Scott takes both of those. So Maxie, his corner telling him, don't trade with this guy. He hits harder than you. From the outside, 1 star for Maxie. And Scott gets inside, though. Lets the hands go. 72. Misses. And that would have been a potential knockdown. Rosenbloom, 9. Misses on the counter opportunity. So dodging a bullet there is Maxie, as he's got 2 stars from the inside. It's going to be toe-to-toe. James Scott going first from the inside. 64. He's going to miss. Rosenbloom fires back. And again, where his corner does not want him to be. He misses as well, though, and the fighters clutch. Cortez separates them. They separate, and Rosenbloom looking to work from space now. Feints with a jab, and now looks to get inside. 2 stars. He takes control from the inside. 55. He's going to miss. Counter an opportunity. Scott gets home with 2 big punches. 1 minute to go in the round. James Scott looking to press that advantage now, and it's going to be a toe-to-toe from the outside. Scott going first. Would have been a no potential knockdown, but he misses anyway. Rosenbloom fires back. He misses as well. 40 seconds to go. Pace slowing down a little bit as both fighters getting wild, and it's going to be another toe-to-toe from the inside. And again, Scott goes first. 69. He misses. Rosenbloom fires back. 23 from the inside. A combo lands behind the jab. 3 punches. 20 seconds to go in the round as Rosenbloom takes back momentum. Maxie gets inside, and he's going to go toe-to-toe with Scott from the inside. And again, where his corner does not want him, but he lets the hands go, and 4 big punches get through. It's going to be a possible knockdown for Rosenbloom as Scott fires back. 49 from the inside. 2 punches get through for Scott. We got to do a chin check now as Scott. Chin rating of 114, and as expected, he shakes that off no problem. Does not think Rosenbloom can hurt him, and Rosenbloom has hit him as hard as he possibly can, which again is not very, and Scott has had no issues dealing with those. But a decisive round for Maxie Rosenbloom. 13 punches to 4, 9-punch differential. So this should assuredly be a Maxie Rosenbloom round. Adelaide Bird, again, has not been invited to judge this fight, so we should be safe in that assumption. As we get ready for round number 5, and stamina-wise, James Scott down to 29, Rosenbloom with 49. Big advantage for Maxie there, and we'll see how that plays out as we're at the halfway point. Round number 5, here we go. Rosenbloom comes out and immediately works inside, lets the hands go. 35, it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. Combo landing behind the jab for Rosenbloom. Scott fires back, and Rahway's finest is going to pull him into a clinch, which reduces Maxie's punch landed total to 1. Joe Cortez separates him. And Rosenbloom from the outside, he's going to have 2 stars. He takes control from the outside. This is where he wants to be. Rapid fire jabs connect. 2 punches land, and defensive check for James Scott takes both of those. Rosenbloom's corner telling him to stay at distance, but he lets Scott get inside. Scott lets the hands go in tight. Looping cross closes the action again, and his right hand has been deadly. Rosenbloom takes all 4 of those punches, and he's not figured out a way to negate that right hand. Toe-to-toe from the inside. James Scott goes first, 97. That's going to be a potential foul. So 1 punch gets through for Scott. We'll come back to the foul check. And actually that with a 3 will be a foul. We'll see what that is after Rosenbloom goes. So 20, and Rosenbloom, he fires back, and 4 big punches get through for him. So Joe Cortez has stopped the action. Approaching James Scott, and 19, he is going to warn him for throwing a rabbit punch in tight there, and that's a 2nd warning for James Scott, who has also been warned for holding and hitting back in the 3rd. So 1 minute 40 seconds to go in the round. Action resumes. Rosenbloom, 2 stars, and it's going to be toe-to-toe. Maxie goes first this time, and Rosenbloom misses. Scott fires back. He misses as well. 1 minute 20 seconds to go in the round. Very methodical Rosenbloom from the outside, and 5. It's going to be 1 star from the outside, but that's enough to take control. 98, and a possible foul for Maxie. 3, and he's going to get a warning for Joe Cortez. So 1 punch gets through, and again, Cortez is strict. Both fighters now with 2 warnings as Rosenbloom gets it for a low blow. And Cortez calls both fighters to the center of the ring, warns them to knock off the rough stuff. They nod, touch gloves, and action resumes. From the inside, it's going to be toe-to-toe. Maxie goes first, and 19 lets the hands go, circling the ring, getting inside. 4 big punches land. James Scott looks to fire back and keep pace. 64, he's going to miss. 40 seconds to go in the round. So Rosenbloom now seems to be taking control of this fight from Scott, who started this one fast. It's going to be 2 stars for Maxie from the outside. Again, regaining control. 15 from the outside is going to be another 4-punch combination. And defensive check for Scott. He's going to take all those. 20 seconds to go in the round. Rosenbloom peppering him with the jab now. 2 stars from the outside for Maxie. He maintains that control, and 0-9, that's going to be another 4-punch salvo. Circling the ring, sniping away is Rosenbloom, and Scott takes all those punches, and that is the round. So a huge round for Rosenbloom, lands 20 punches to Scott's 5, and that's going to reduce Scott's stamina after 5 rounds to 9. And this could potentially be 15-punch differential. Could potentially be a 10-8 round for Maxie. We'll see what the judges think about that. All right, scoring is in, but the tide of this fight has definitely changed. A very competitive first round. Scott scoring that second round knockdown over Rosenbloom, but Rosenbloom, since that time, has climbed back into this fight as we are getting ready to enter round number 6. And D. Scott Howard has joined us at ringside. Welcome. Just in time for a very entertaining fight. And again, this is celebrating the official release of the light heavyweight set for Days Boxing. From the outside, Rosenbloom circling around, and it's going to be toe-to-toe. Maxie goes first, 44, and that's going to be a combo behind a jab. 3 big punches land for Rosenbloom. James Scott looking to get another opportunity to land that huge right hand, and a looping cross closes a sequence. 4 punches land, but Rosenbloom is unhurt. Scott takes momentum, landing more punches in that segment. From the outside, but Rosenbloom takes it back, and 64, he's going to miss. No counter opportunity for Scott. Coming up on the 2-minute mark in round number 6, and Rosenbloom from the outside going to be toe-to-toe, and Maxie goes first. 87, he misses. James Scott fires back. 30, and James Scott does not. Charges in behind a lead cross. 3 big punches get through, and 2 minutes to go in the round. So Scott reestablishing himself as Rosenbloom looks to get inside now. It's going to be 2 stars each. It's going to be toe-to-toe. James Scott goes first. He misses, and Rosenbloom will be a potential cut if he lands, and he does. 39. Rapid-fire jabs connect. 2 punches land, and a cut check for James Scott. And again, James Scott with a swollen right eye already and no further damage. As the fighters circle each other, both now starting to be a little bit more tentative. From the outside, 2 stars for Rosenbloom. Going to be another toe-to-toe exchange, and Maxie goes first this time as he took momentum away. 23. It's going to be a nice 4-punch combination. And James Scott fires back. And once again, the dice leave the ring. We'll just re-roll that completely. So James Scott, 19, and Scott gets home with 4 big punches of his own. 1:20 seconds to go. There's been some very good toe-to-toe exchanges. Both fighters, a willingness to mix it up. And Rosenbloom from the outside takes control now. 35. That's going to be a 3-punch combination. And defensively, Scott takes them all down to 1 minute to go, round number 6 of the scheduled 10-rounder. Rosenbloom looking to maintain that control, dips inside now and does. 93 from the inside, and that's going to be a clinch. 40 seconds to go in the round. Scott looking to press the pace, and Rosenbloom meets him on the inside and beats him, takes control, lets the hands go. Masterful boxing, working levels. 5 big punches get through for Rosenbloom, and Scott takes them all. Rosenbloom taking control now. using his superior boxing ability, and from the outside, going to be toe-to-toe. Maxie goes first, and 46 from the outside. That's going to be 2 more punches getting through, and James Scott fires back. Again, no knockdown opportunities for either, and Scott's going to miss at the bell. So another big round for Maxie, but Scott got his blows in too. Good action round, 19 punches to 11. Both fighters landing at a fair rate in this one, but Scott is going to be fatigued now, and that's going to definitely affect his fight or game plan. 8-punch differential. This should be another round that goes comfortably to Rosenbloom, but Scott had his moments, so we'll see how that affects the judges. All right, we are ready to go for round number 7. And Rosenbloom still has 33 stamina points left. Scott is fatigued, so his punching power and that big right hand was his ace in the hole, if you will. He's down to a 1 now for punching power. His chin goes up to a 3, which again, with the feather-fisted adjustment, it's still going to be a 1. So he goes down on a 1 and is hurt with a 7 or less. And chin KO rating goes up to 3, but again, with Rosenbloom, not a hard hitter at all. Probably something he does not have to worry about. Round 7 gets underway, and it's going to be 2 stars from the outside for Maxie, and it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. Rosenbloom goes first from the outside, and circling the ring, sniping away. 4 big punches land. Scott fires back, looking to keep pace. 89, and Scott's going to miss. So I think this fight has definitely swung to Maxie's favor after a very quick start for Scott. And it's going to be toe-to-toe from the outside. Rosenbloom goes first. He's going to miss. Scott misses as well. So 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And that fatigue starting to manifest itself in Scott. And 2 stars for Maxie from the inside. He's going to take control. Ducks in, 26. Combo lands behind the jab. 3 big punches land. And Scott eats all of them. 2 minutes to go in the 7th round. 4s for both fighters. Toe-to-toe again from the inside. Rosenbloom goes first, and a lot of toe-to-toe exchanges as 3 more punches get through for Maxie. And Scott, if he had been fresh, would have had a possible knockdown. Not going to happen fatigued, and he misses anyway. So Scott looking to grab Rosenbloom. Rosenbloom wants to keep up the pace. He works inside. Another toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. And Maxie goes first. He misses. Scott fires back. He misses as well. So Rosenbloom apparently not worried about getting caught with a big right hand despite being knocked down in the 2nd round. And Scott's going to take control now from the inside. 43. And that's going to be 2 punches land, reduced to 1 with the fatigue. And again, that fatigue cost him a possible knockdown, which at this point he might need a knockout to win this fight, as Rosenbloom has wrested control away and is comfortably in command at this point. Going to be toe-to-toe from the outside. Scott goes first, 49, and Scott's going to miss. Rosenbloom lets the hands go, and he misses as well. 40 seconds to go in the round. Rosenbloom is content to punch and hold at this point. And from the outside, it is going to be a toe-to-toe exchange, and Rosenbloom goes first. 20 from the outside. That's going to be a 4-punch combination, and Scott needs to make something happen quickly in this one. He charges in behind the lead cross. That's going to be 3 punches reduced to 2 due to his fatigue. And final 20 seconds of the stanza. Rosenbloom in control with momentum. 1 star, and he has control from the outside. 69, he's going to miss. Scott looks to counter, misses, and that's the bell. So 14 punches to 3, and this has really been a tale of 2 fights. The first 3 rounds very heavily in Scott's favor, and it's pretty much been all Rosenbloom since then. Currently where we sit, an 11-punch differential in that round, and is going to almost assuredly go to Rosenbloom. And none of the judges were taking a nap in that round. So at this point in the fight, still a close fight overall because of that knockdown that Scott scored in the 2nd round. But at this point, Scott, the last 3 rounds, has really not done much of anything, or 3 of the last 4 rounds, and he is fatigued. Rosenbloom still has 14 left, as we enter round number 8. And Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, and it is Mike Tyson versus Sharks this week, Al. So here we go, round number 8. We are underway. And Rosenbloom, it's going to be 1 star from the outside and toe-to-toe from the outside. Maxie goes first, 33. And 33 is going to be a 3-punch combination. James Scott. Sorry about that bump on the camera, guys. Scott gets home 3 punches as well, reduced to 2. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the round. Rosenbloom from the outside takes back control, and he's going to miss. Scott looking to counter. 4 on the counter, and that's going to be a 1-punch hook getting through. So Scott is trying, but again, he's tired, and he needs to win at least 2 of these last 3 rounds, in my opinion, to have a chance in this fight. It's going to be toe-to-toe from the inside. Scott goes first. Scott misses, and Rosenbloom fires back. 20 from the inside, and that's going to be 4 more punches land for Maxie. And Maxie, they're not hard, but the volume is getting through. A very good punch output. Through 7 rounds, he had 114 landed. So Rosenbloom from the inside, it's going to be 2 stars, toe-to-toe. Maxie goes first, 32. And 32 is going to be a 3-punch combination. James Scott looking to fire back. And again, neither fighter has any power left at this point as Scott misses. Minute 40 seconds to go in the round. Scott had his opportunity and apparently let it slip away as it's going to be toe-to-toe from the outside. Maxie goes first, 21 and 21. Circling the ring, sniping away. 4 more punches land for Rosenbloom. The last a right hand that sends sweat flying off of Scott's head. 92. Scott's going to clinch him, and that's going to negate 3 of those punches. So Scott at this point is dead tired, looking to hang on and survive. Rosenbloom, 2 stars from the inside. He takes control from the inside. And 83 from the inside. That's going to be a clinch. Minute to go in the round. Rosenbloom with 1 star from the outside. Scott dips inside, takes back control. 14, lets the hands go. Looping cross again, closes the sequence. 3 punches land with a fatigue adjustment and a potential cut. So Rosenbloom, again, with that cut rating of 4. And 3, Maxie's going to have some more facial damage. So 1 to 10, the swelling on the left eye will get worse. And 17, it's going to be some new facial trauma. 14, and that's going to be a gash above the right eye. And this big turnaround of events here in the 8th round as Rosenbloom, referee Joe Cortez, jumps in to stop the action. And they're going to have the ringside doctor take a look at that. Gash right eye. This will be a stoppage. And that looked to have been caused by a big hook. 1 to 4. This fight's going to be over, and this would be a very anticlimactic ending. 19, and the doctor lets it go on. So 40 seconds to go in the round. But Rosenbloom now, that gash is going to be all kinds of trouble for him coming down the home stretch. Toe-to-toe from the outside. Scott goes first. Scott misses. Rosenbloom fires back. Rosenbloom, 12. Circling the ring, sniping away again. 4 big punches land. 20 seconds to go in the 8th round. That gash a concern now for Rosenbloom. Scott works inside, takes control, lets the hands go. 40, 2 punches reduced to 1 with fatigue, and defensively a 6. And Maxie's actually going to block that. So finally his defense comes into play, and that is the round. So 15 punches to 6 in that round. Another decisive round for Maxie, 9-punch differential. But the cut, that gash, and big gash over the right eye, that's definitely going to be something to keep your eye on over the final 2 rounds of this fight, as that could turn things around in a hurry. We'll see what the judges think about the scoring in that round. So 2 rounds to go in this one. And again, Rosenbloom has rallied to take control of the action. Still has 24 stamina left for the final 2 rounds, so he should get through these fine, but that cuts an albatross. We will see how it comes into play as the fighters are up for round number 9. Scott's corner telling him to go after that cut, make it worse from the inside. Maxie with 2 stars ducks in. He's going to miss. Counterpunch opportunity for Scott. He misses as well. Rosenbloom would be advised to just hang on at this point, but it's going to be toe-to-toe from the inside. Maxie goes first. Maxie with a potential knockdown, and 18. That's going to be 4 big punches get through as he snipes away. Scott fires back, and Scott 0-3. That's going to be 5 punches landed, reduced to 4. So a vicious exchange there, but chin check now for Scott. And again, 7 or less. He's hurt. Rosenbloom, no. Scott shakes it off. Rosenbloom could not break an egg with his punches. So Scott's fine as Rosenbloom from the inside looks to take control. And another toe-to-toe from the inside. These guys are not letting up as the fight comes into the final 2 rounds. Rosenbloom, 4 more punches land. Scott looking to fire back from the inside. And Scott, another furious onslaught. 5 punches reduced to 4, and James Scott's going to go out on his shield. He is tired as hell, but letting the hands go to try and steal 1 or 2 of these last rounds. And it's going to be no stars for Rosenbloom, and Scott from the inside takes control now, 60. He's going to miss. No counter for Rosenbloom as Scott. Those last 2 segments just wore him down and did not have the energy. It's going to be 2 stars from both fighters, and again, toe-to-toe. Scott goes first, but he is dog-tired, falls into a clinch, and Maxie does not object to that. Referee Joe Cortez separates him, and Rosenbloom again, another toe-to-toe exchange from the inside, and again, looking to go first is Scott, but he's going to miss. Rosenbloom fires back, and 93, Rosenbloom, that's going to be a clinch. So a minute left in the round, and Maxie, thinking he has this in the bag despite that second round knockdown, being very cautious now, grabbing inside. But we're going to have another toe-to-toe exchange. This time from the outside. Rosenbloom goes first. Rosenbloom misses. Scott fires back. 83 from the outside. He misses as well. Neither fighter able to find the range. 40 seconds to go in the round. No stars for Rosenbloom. 1 star from the outside for Scott. And Scott lets the hands go from the outside. 3 punches get through with fatigue adjustment. And James Scott, no defensive adjustment for Rosenbloom. So Scott making a bid, and this fight is actually still close enough that if he wins these last 2 rounds, it could be an interesting decision. And Scott's going to have control again from the outside, 41, and that is going to be a single punch getting through, but and a possible knockdown, actually. So Scott, 1 punch gets through, and it's going to be a chin check for Maxie, who is still fresh. So wouldn't this be something? Scott and Maxie shakes that off no problem, and that is the round. So good round for James Scott. 4-punch differential, still a close round. But definitely output-wise, that's Scott's best round since the 6th. Maxie heading into the last round, though, still going to have 12 stamina left. So this round could go either way. 4-punch differential. We will see how the judges score it. All right, that is interesting. All right, round number 10, and round number 10, this has been a very good fight up to this point. Again, exceeding expectations in terms of the amount of action, due mainly to Rosenbloom, who is more a defensive fighter. Heading into this final round, I would say without a doubt, or more than likely, James Scott's going to need something big to pull this out, as after his quick start, Rosenbloom has just been in command. From round 4 on, it's going to be 2 stars from Maxie as we start the final round. Fighters touch gloves and then embrace, mutual show of respect. Rosenbloom in control from the outside. He's going to miss. Missing on the counter is Scott. And the crowd on its feet. They are applauding both men for a fight well fought. Again, though, that gash on Rosenbloom's right eye, that could still come into play if Scott can reopen it. It's going to be no stars for Maxie. And from the outside, Scott takes control, lets a hand off, furious onslaught as he's trying his best to rally. And Rosenbloom with a 5 defensively is going to block 2 of those 4 punches, however, as he finally chooses to fight a little bit more cautiously in the final round. Maxie circling from the outside. It's going to be 2 stars, toe-to-toe, but James Scott gets inside, toe-to-toe there from the inside. Scott lets the hands go. He misses. Rosenbloom fires back, 85. He's going to clinch and grab. 2 minutes to go in the final round. Crowd on its feet, imploring Scott to fight on. 2 stars from the outside for Rosenbloom, 2 stars for Scott. Toe-to-toe exchange from the outside. Scott goes first, and 11 from the outside. It's going to be 3 punches getting through for James Scott, and Maxie Rosenbloom fires back. We're going to get through some of his own, and he gets home a couple. So 1:40 seconds to go in the fight. Rosenbloom's corner telling him to be careful. Don't get pulled into a slugfest and risk getting that gash reopened. Scott, though, works inside. 15, lets the hands go. And that's going to be another 4-punch salvo, reduced to 3 with the fatigue. And Rosenbloom takes them all. Scott is going to go out fighting in this one. 2 stars for Rosenbloom, toe-to-toe from the outside. James Scott goes first. Scott just misses a whistling right hand, grazes Rosenbloom's jaws. He fires back. He misses as well. Maxie not even trying to engage in this point, looking to sew up the decision. 2 stars from the inside, but he dips inside now. 0-5, lets the hands go. 4 big punches land for Rosenbloom, and Scott, a 4 on defense. He's going to add a 5th to that. 40 seconds to go in the fight. Crowd on their feet, both men at ring center. Are they going to engage? It's going to be inside, 2 stars each. It's going to be toe-to-toe. They do engage. Rosenbloom goes first. And Maxie, 4 more big punches land. He's finishing hard. Looking to sew the decision up, leave no doubt. Scott fires back. He misses. Final 20 seconds of the fight. Rosenbloom, 2 stars on the inside. He takes control from the inside, and he's going to finish big with a 4-punch salvo. And Scott eats all those, and that is the bell. This one is over. A very good fight. Final round, 15 punches to 8 for Rosenbloom. And the crowd applauds both men. They hug, pat each other on the head. Mutual show of respect. A very tough fight. Rosenbloom looked like it might be a wild or early exit for him and a mild upset as he was dropped in the 2nd round, but he regained his composure and he was in control from the 4th round on. 7-punch differential in this final round. We will see how the judges score this. All right, final punch stat numbers in this one, folks. And again, Scott, the harder punches, he was never hurt by Rosenbloom. Again, Maxie showing us that feather-fisted trait in full effect. So total punches landed. Rosenbloom had an incredible output of 152 punches landed. 15.2 punches landed per round. Scott landed 86 for a clip of 8.6 per round. And our final scoring, the judges have collected the cards, given them to Michael Buffer, and here is your decision. Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing in the light heavyweight division, we have a unanimous decision. Judge 1 scores the bout 95-94. Judge 2 scores about 96-93. And Judge 3 scores about 96-93. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Slapsy Maxie Rosenbloom. So there you have it, a very competitive 10-round affair between James Scott and Maxie Rosenbloom, fought from Rahway State Penitentiary. And again, a tale of 2 fights. Scott, after 3 rounds, looked to be in control. He had a 2nd round knockdown of Rosenbloom, had won rounds 2 and 3, obviously, on all judges' cards, and had won round 1 on one of the judges' scorecards. But then Maxie took control and used his superior boxing skill at space, keeping Scott frustrated and just peppering him with a large volume of punches. Maxie landed over 20 punches twice in this fight. In a round, landed 19 and 18 in 2 other rounds. So again, a great clip for Rosenbloom. He was in double figures in 8 of 10 rounds, 152 punches total. And that was the story. So there you have it for my Rahway State Prison. Thank you to everyone for stopping by. Philip Reynolds, check out that great channel. And Philip, what do you have coming up later again, my friend? STG Replays, check out his channel. Thanks for joining us. Al, Red Sox fan, just finished some action PC baseball. A big win for Sandy Koufax in that, and check out his channel as well. D. Scott Howard joined us at ringside. Thank you for stopping in, my friend. Appreciate the support of the channel and the game. And again, coming up on 500 subscribers. So once we get to 500, we're going to do another giveaway, and it will be a copy of a Replay Baseball with the 1908 season for you dead ball fanatics. And again, the light heavyweight set for Glory Days Boxing has released this weekend, and if you pre-ordered, your printed cards will be shipping tomorrow. And again, available on sidelinestrategy.com. And again, thank you to everybody who supports the game. Appreciate you stopping by. As D. Scott says, nice action this afternoon. Yeah, very good fight. Very, very entertaining fight between these two. So thanks to watch, and until next time, guys, keep rolling for that knockout. This is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Have a good afternoon, and we'll see you.